Market Pulse by SC Securities and Daily FT. As usual, our effort is to bring you the expert insight for you to have a better pulse about the equity markets of Sri Lanka. John Keells Holdings PLC, one of the most prominent Sri Lankan conglomerate listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange. It is diversified over 7 different industries. Today, our focus is on the property industry. And with the latest developments, this could become the priority and the highest contributing industry for John Keells Group. Let's find that out. To talk about that, we have with us today Mr. Nayana Mawilmada, the President of Property Sector at John Keells Holdings PLC. Nayana, welcome to Market Pulse.
Thank you, Dilusha.
Nayana, to start off the conversation, let's talk about the property portfolio that you have under your management. Just give us a brief introduction to the portfolio.
Sure. So John Keells Properties does 2 sides. We manage assets and we develop assets. The larger part of it is on the development, where we're developing obviously Cinnamon Life, Trizen, and all the condominium developments that we do across the city, right? On the property management side, we manage all the John Keells Holdings offices. We manage the K-Zone malls, we manage Crescat Mall, and we also manage Victoria Golf and Resort and the Cinnamon Life office space. So we do a bit of both, but the development is kind of the bigger part of the business.
That is the most
all the new condominium developments. We've got a huge pipeline of stuff.
And what is going on, and what is what you have finished so far?
So we've done, I think the market knows, we've done lots of projects with the largest developer in Sri Lanka, obviously, with Emperor, Monarch, 7th Sense on 320 under our belt. We've got Trizen under development. We can talk about that in little detail if you want. It's about a 890 unit development, large development in the heart of the city. Then we've got Cinnamon Life, which is a very, very large development as well. We're developing some holiday homes in Kandy with the Victoria Golf Resort. And we're just cooking up something else, which I can't tell you about, but we will go to market soon, yes.
Right, and Nayana, Cinnamon Life can be that is the highest investment, the private sector investment in
the largest private sector investment in Sri Lanka,
industry. Yes, so that can become the catalyst for the future growth of John Keells Group as well. What is the current situation of the project, and how do you see that?
First, I want to correct. I think it will be probably the largest catalyst for Sri Lanka, much further than John Keells. I think it's going well. So we have now endured a very, very difficult period in the country, obviously, but despite that, we've completed a large chunk of this building. So the 2 residential towers are completed and occupied. The office building is completed and occupied. As you drive by Bala Dakshamauth, you'll see the exterior of the building is now done. And we are just kind of tweaking the interiors and finishing up the interiors. So we'll be done very, very soon. And next calendar year, we will definitely be opening this thing up.
Now, what exactly in the building other than the residential and office complex?
800-room hotel, mall, convention center, and of course, a gaming facility as well.
And that is yet to be completed?
That's all part of the main building. That construction is ongoing at the moment, but it's really in the final stages of construction now.
And Nayana, where do you see the demand coming from for Sri Lanka's property industry? And in that case, where do you look at, and what is your target market, especially with Cinnamon Life?
With Cinnamon Life, okay, so let me just take a step back. I think the property market in Sri Lanka offers different things to different people, right? You have projects like the Cinnamon Life, which are decidedly high-end, and that caters to a certain echelon of Sri Lanka, as well as hopefully some expat population as well, investing in. And we do expect when projects like Cinnamon Life take off, that we will start to get some Indian investment potentially as well into projects of this nature. So that's one segment of demand. The second segment of demand is really kind of domestic, high urban housing demand, which again is primarily domestic, but slightly more modestly priced demand, which we see, which was dry for the last year or so because of the economic crisis. But with interest rates coming down and the economy stabilizing, we see that actually kind of coming back quite strongly. And then there's kind of the suburban or the peri-urban type of housing, which is even more maybe price sensitive. That's another third pool of demand. And the way we look at this is try to understand how the market will move, what is happening in infrastructure that will drive certain things. John Keells is quite diversified in this, so we are able to play in multiple spaces, which is, I think, one of our strengths.
Okay, and does that mean you're looking at a niche market, like a high-end market for Cinnamon Life?
Cinnamon Life is by definition high-end.
Okay, so but your target market is mostly India?
Mostly, most of our buyers are Sri Lankan actually.
Sri Lankan.
Yeah, a good chunk of them. I would say about 60, 65, 70% of them are Sri Lankan. We have quite a bit of Sri Lankan expats and a few, I think maybe 5 to 10% of true foreign buying as well. But we expect that foreign buying to increase, particularly in projects like Cinnamon Life, which are so unique. They're kind of once in a lifetime projects. So we expect the rest of it to really just kind of get mopped up actually.
And for the office complex, it's
the office, we've sold some floors, and we've now got HCL in a landmark transaction. I think we announced about a year and a half ago. They've occupied a good chunk of the building as well, and they're on a lease basis. Yeah.
And also, Nayana, now Cinnamon Life complex includes a gaming facility as well. And this is one topic that is talked about a lot through media and newspaper coverages and everything. So at the moment that we have seen that you are trying to attract international gaming operators to Cinnamon Life project, what is the situation on that?
So we are anyway just developing the facility and we will lease it out. But yes, we are discussing with various parties to bring a strong international operator, which this project is kind of purpose designed to have a large gaming facility. So we are in discussions with multiple parties on this at the moment.
And what is the trend in property prices for Sri Lanka? Now we see in the market there's a lot of projects coming up, the housing projects. There are multiple projects coming up, and how the prices are behaving in Sri Lanka?
That's a good question. Look, I think in the last year and a half, prices kind of took a huge uptick for multiple reasons, right? One is construction costs went a little ballistic with all the fluctuations in the currencies, because for construction is anyway exposed quite heavily to foreign buying, right? Because lots of raw materials are anyway procured from outside. So there was a large uptick in construction cost, which is getting factored into projects. And two, there was a big increase in taxes with the VAT and SSC coming in as well, the Social Security levy, right? So that's a 17.5% on top of that. So with all these coming in, I think housing prices probably went up 50-60%. And for the last year, it's been difficult because I think people's incomes haven't gone, and the country was in a relatively chaotic situation. But I see signs of that recovery happening, and the price adjustment is kind of here to stay. It's not going to go away. So the market will effectively catch up with that pricing.
So prices are coming down, or
I don't think prices will come down. I think the market prices will adjust to this new level.
New demand.
Because you can't build anything anywhere close to the prices that things are being sold now. Like if I was to do Trizen again, it would probably cost me double to do it.
Right.
So you'd have to price it.
And you were talking about the taxes, and the recent tax reforms introduced a capital gains tax on property. How does that affect the property market?
Actually, I don't think capital gains affected it that much, to be honest. I think the VAT and the Social Security charge, I think that it's a much larger thing because the 10% on capital gain is just on the gain. So it's really not that bad, actually. Unless you're a corporate, then you get taxed at a high rate. But for individuals, it's really not an issue.
And obviously, as you also mentioned, the high taxes and the high construction cost, and also the rupee fluctuations in a difficult manner. All these factors can affect the property market, and also you had to manage these situations. And what were your strategies to manage these challenges, I would say?
I think really two things. One is just John Keells is a very, very strong company with very, very disciplined management and governance. So we are very, very disciplined about planning. So exceptional planning is number one. Number two is exceptional team. I think we have an amazing group of people that have really just kind of hunkered down and got us through this. And we were in the peak of everything going on. I think our two sites, Trizen and Cinnamon Life, were the only two construction sites in Colombo, probably in a large part of Sri Lanka, that were really running full steam. So I'm really proud of my team, really, more than anything else, about getting us through it. But I have to add, there's dark periods and people panic in dark periods. But I think those dark periods are kind of coming to an end, right? And again, we've looked at this and said, look, how do you plan beyond these cycles? Because if you see now, inflation is coming down, interest rates are kind of coming off, taxes again are quite high, perhaps as they should be. And then once again, real estate becomes like a really good place to put money. And the fundamentals will shift. And again, if you just look at what this city is, we are still far behind the region in terms of high density condominiumized development. That fundamental will shift. It's only a question of time. And I think that time, we've lost a couple of years, but there will definitely be catch up. So we're very, very confident on that.
Better times are yet to come.
Absolutely. No, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And what is your projected contribution to John Keells Group from the property industry?
You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see, because we have lots of things, obviously, in the pipeline. Cinnamon Life will open. We'll have, things happening there, which hopefully will have big contributions. And then in the new project pipeline as well, there's lots of stuff that we're working on at the moment, which will also start. So I think it'll be quite big, but wait and see.
All right. And you were mentioning about some upcoming projects as well. Anything that you can mention us?
I can say is
something
wait for
in
it.
The pipeline?
All I can say is wait for it. We'll announce soon.
We'll announce soon.
Yeah, but it's something we're working on. It's quite exciting. We're very excited. You just have to wait for it. I can't tell you.
Okay. And what about the current situation of the Trizen projects? Now, we have talked about the Cinnamon Life project quite a lot.
Yeah, Trizen's going very well. We're about 75% sold. We're about 6 months away from completion. And it's been received exceptionally well from the market, actually. And I think it's going to be another game changer for Colombo. So it's going very, very well.
The occupancy is...
We're about 75% sold now.
75% sold.
Yeah.
Then there's 25% more to go, and that you expect to finish quite soon.
Yeah, within the next year and a half, we'll be done.
So that means definitely there are some new projects in the pipeline.
So we can't sit on our hands. No, we'll be finishing Cinnamon Life. So we're not going to sit on our hands and wait. All right,
great. And last but not least, what do you have to say to the shareholders of the John Keells Holdings PLC as the president of one of the main industries managed under John Keells Group? What can they expect in the future?
It's a good question. Good things. I think I would say thank you for being patient. Good times ahead. Just keep it at that.
Keep it at that for now.
Yeah.
You want to keep everything very suspicious, and everyone has to be patient
good things,
and looking
good
for
things
the
come
future.
to those who wait.
All right, that sounds great, and I think that is kind of a light at the end of the tunnel, and we are at the recovery
it's a glaring
stage.
light. It's not like a little
glaring
light. It's like a glaring light at the end of the tunnel. I'm very optimistic.
Okay. And the country is in the path of recovery, and now we have talked about the property industry of John Keells Holdings PLC, one of the most prominent industries managed under John Keells Holdings. And I hope that as shareholders and as Sri Lankan citizens, you have got a good idea and understanding about the property industry of the John Keells Holdings and also property industry of Sri Lanka and what the future would look like. And thank you very much, Nayana, for finding time in your busy schedule and spending time with us and also sharing great insights with us. With that, we will end the session and we will meet again with another exciting episode. Thank you for watching Market Pulse.